now for England with the sound of their first big hit, Spicks and Specks, ringing in their ears. Since then, the dream of international stardom has become very much a reality, but not without a few hiccups along the way. Now they're back after 15 years away from Australia with a new album and an Australia-wide tour. Would you please welcome, live from the Siebel Townhouse in Sydney, the brothers Gibb, Barry, Maurice and Robin.
Hello. How you doing? Hello.
Welcome, guys. Nice to see you home. Does it feel like home for you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic.
We got off the plane at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was just like we dreamt. It was wonderful weather, and it was just couldn't wait to get in. It was wonderful.
Now, I read that, in fact, there's an entourage of 70 or so who come back with families.
No, that's not true. It's 69.
What do you want to do then? What do you want to do now that you're back after 15 years?
We want to go see all of our friends. We want to see as many of our friends that we haven't seen for about 15 years. And our relatives, we have numerous relatives here. We have our grandmother here who's about 90 and just suffered a stroke in Adelaide, and we want to see her. So we have a great big agenda.
Bringing wives and children then. I mean, obviously people have never been to Australia before.
Yes, well, I've got my son, Robin has his family, I haven't got my wife with me, but my son Adam, no, he's never seen Australia, so he's very excited because we told him all about it.
Can I ask you what you've done? You arrived yesterday, didn't you? What have you done so far?
Yesterday we went out to Bronte Beach to see our old house. We lived in about 24 years back.
We're the only people fully clothed.
We went and sat on the beach amongst all the people, and it must have looked pretty strange to a few people because we were the only people dressed sitting on the beach. A few topless people, but we weren't topless.
Oh, you weren't topless though, didn't you?
No.
Why have you left it so long? Why 15 years?
Well, numerous reasons. You know, we all have families now. We're very, very nervous of flying. We always have been. I think it runs in the family.
And it's a long flight.
And just various, as you said before so well, hiccups do come and go, and you know, for many reasons we haven't been able to get over here, but we're glad to be here now.
Now, why have you decided? I mentioned hiccups, and we could talk about some of those, but they have in your careers. There's been those times where you'd actually sing together, tour together, and then drop out totally, then come back and do it again. Why have you got back together this time?
Well, we've never been apart. I mean, don't forget we're three brothers, or we were four brothers, but we're three now.
And we've also been actively writing and producing for other artists, such as Dinah Ross, Chain Reaction in '86, Islands in the Stream, Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton a couple of years before that. And these are sort of like a year-and-a-half projects. So and the Heartbreaker album, Dionne Warwick. So you know, that's a lot of the first half of the '80s. Up to '86 was made up of these artists, including the Guilty album with Barbra Streisand.
Yep.
And then in '87 we were able to get back and concentrate on ourselves again.
Perhaps we're a little guilty of hiding behind our records, and that's why we're touring now, because we want to get back to our first love, which is what we used to do when we lived here. We were always a live group.
Yeah, I was going to say that it seems to me that while you've produced these marvellous albums for other people, you must get itchy. You must want to get back and actually get up there and do it yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was too long. We were just doing, before we started the Dinah Ross album, actually, is when we decided now was the time to concentrate on ourselves and write for ourselves. And it's been real good. We've just been too long off the road, and it's the only way to say thank you, by being on the road.
Yeah.
All right,
you know, to the people.
The new album you've got out is called One, which has been released in Australia. The tour is called One for All.
Yeah.
Significance in that?
Well, it's one for all for one type.
Yes.
It was originally the Four Musketeers, because Andy was going to be on the tour with us, but it's and the album as well.
Yeah, you've made that album and the tour a tribute to Andy.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's also a symbol of our unity. We've gone.
Oh, we're on.
How much of that was, in terms of touring, obviously the death, as it is with anyone in the family, was hard to handle. Did you feel like you need to get back on the road at all for him, or is that a bit too dramatic?
Losing Andy was a devastating thing for us, obviously, and it shook us up, and it made us realise that that what Andy had been doing in his life was perhaps wasting his talent and not getting out there and showing everybody how good he really was. And we don't want to be guilty of the same thing, so it made us feel that, you know, we have to not waste what we do and get out and prove what we do. So,
The Stones have proven the recent tour in America just how you never too old to rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, you know, being 57 is not easy. We look pretty good.
Well, I mean, they're 10 years older than us, and I hope we're going to be doing the same thing when, you know, we're their age.
What about, again, there's been some articles as preceding your return, in which you've almost apologised for
inventing,
inventing disco and Saturday Night Live. No, you shouldn't be apologising for that.
No, we never have done.
No, no, it was Saturday Night Fever, you mean? Yeah.
Well, to apologise would make 30 million people wrong, and we don't want to do that. So.
No, we're very proud of that.
We're proud of the music, and regardless of the syndrome and the disco thing, you know, a lot of people got caught up in that trap.
The ironic thing at the moment, though, is that the #1 film in America is starring John Travolta, and Staying Alive is in the movie.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's ironic, but it's come round again.
You don't feel like your grandfather's in it with...
No, that was our that was our fathers, that's not us.
Yeah, that was our fathers that did that.
But you know, there are lots of groups that have been around as long as we have making hits, like Fleetwood Mac, and there's David Bowie, and Genesis.
I mean, don't you think there's too much preoccupation with how old somebody is as compared to how good somebody is?
Look, I think that totally about myself. Absolutely.
Well, see, you look pretty good for 64.
I know. Hang it in there. Now, what are people going to see on this tour? Are they going to see a bit of the old and a bit of the new?
Well, we have to. I mean, we can't go on stage and not sing How Deep Is Your Love or Staying Alive, because once again, it's like the Stones going on and not doing Satisfaction. We have to go on and sing the hits because people expect it. They go there to hear the songs from Massachusetts, to Love Somebody, to Right Up to You, Win Again, and to the new single. So it's a complete cross.
I just told them what we're going to do now.
Well, I didn't tell them about the tightrope.
The tightrope as well, eh?
Yes, it's back in the act.
Now, I take it because it looks such a long tour for groups normally coming up to Australia, I take it that it is part holiday as well as part work.
Well, some days, yeah, we've like...
Yes, very little holiday. I wish there was a bit more time for us to spend some free
We've got
time.
a couple of extra days in each place of, like Brisbane, so we can go and check out the old places we used to live, and probably they've been torn down now, but we're going to go and have a look if they're still there.
We're on the ground where they were.
Yeah.
There are so many hits, and I don't mean it as a silly question, but what's your favourite? What, individually, what do you like most of all? Is that a...
We all have different favourites, I think.
Yeah, I think varies.
It's very hard to say. We feel very close to How Deep Is Your Love because somebody tried to sue us for the song once, and so that made it more close.
See, all our songs are like the children. They're that close to us. So I mean, I love Too Much Heaven.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many different kinds of atmospheres and different kinds of the records we made that each one has a great memory.
Yeah, I didn't mean it as I say, I didn't mean it as a silly question. I thought there may have been something that really got you.
I thought it was quite a very intelligent.
Well, it wasn't facetious.
100 million records later, though, when you sit sort of where it began for you, does that seem like someone else's story, life story?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
When you sit in Sydney, pretty much where it all began, almost in Channel 9, in fact, where it began, does it seem like someone else's story you're talking about?
Yeah, we went to, as I say, we went to see our old house at Bronte Beach yesterday, and it's been a long time, 24 years ago. And but it really is. It's a fantastic. I don't know if you ever if this has ever happened to you in your life, but when you go back, the feeling is very, very strange. It's almost like deja vu, and you begin to wonder to yourself, did we ever leave here, and is this a dream?
Yeah, all of it was just a dream. We've just woken up and we're back.
And it was just at that very moment you were arrested, right?
Well, it's marketing songs. Do you think you might write anything this time here?
Yeah, actually, we have already got some ideas, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, we're always writing if we can.
Yeah, we'll be going over the Blue Mountains this afternoon, so I wonder what we'll come up with.
We wait for it anyway. Thanks for talking to us. Good to see the humour still there, and it's a great tour. Obviously, it's all capital cities. You check your local newspapers to catch the Bee Gees. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Terrific. And let's go to break with the title song from the Bee Gees. We aren't? No, we're not. We're not. There you go, live television.
There we go.
Let's, we're going to play that title song?
Go
No,
on.
we're going to go straight to it. No, we'll play it after this break. There you go.
Okay.
Or something. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it, guys, very much indeed.
Thanks a lot.
Thank Barry and Robin and Maurice.
Thank you.
It's the fun of live television.